The Destined Trader, episode 97. I tell you what, there's some interesting people out there. Interesting. I came across, the YouTube algorithm and what have you, They know I don't do much watching on my channel, but I guess because my channel is what it is and the subject matter that I talk about on this channel, the algorithm is kind of set for what I might be interested in watching or interested in listening to. And I came across this trader on YouTube today, and it just cracked me up. It just made me laugh on the inside because he's posting these shorts, and I'd have to say 95% of all the shorts he's been posting, it's all to do with I made 5,000 in 5 minutes, or I made 10,000 in 10 minutes, or, watch me make $7,000 in just a few minutes, And that's the majority of this person's content. I didn't do too much digging into him and what have you, because he's just there's so many out there like him, and I'm sure personally he's a wonderful man, great guy, probably really nice dude, but it just goes to show what's inherently wrong with this industry as a whole. And I've brought that up a couple times in the past on how that's one of the main sticking points of what's giving this industry a bad name of being a trader or being an investor. It just, content like that is just ruining the everyday man's expectations. Not everyone out there just has thousands on a whim to throw in the market on a new venture. That's just not the case. The numbers, they just don't lie. The majority of people are, just struggling to get by. So when you're throwing out content out there that's you can make this and this, you can make this and this, of course people are going to be instantly, wow, really? Look, he did that. And he very well could have done that. But does it relate to you when you come to the game? And congrats on this gentleman if he's making a killing in the market. That's great. But I don't know, it just sits weird with me seeing that, because it's just teasing people on, a lot of people, they got $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 saved up, and then they go into the market and then they lose it all, and they're like, hey, what the heck, what's going on? It's better to go about it in slow form content than, you can make this doing this. I know, this is the contrarian in me, but it just validates the point I'm trying to make of, can we please stop making these videos all the time, 24/7, pushing out to people that you can make this, because the majority of people that come to the space, they don't have that result in a short amount of time, and then they immediately just quit and just badmouth the industry as a whole. and it makes a lot of people just look bad that are just trying to learn a new skill set and better their life, and it just kind of puts a bad name on them, you know, like, oh, that guy, he's a traitor, you know. I don't know, that's just a strange perception I have. But there's a few pretty transparent people out there in the space, but majority of them, you just don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening behind the scenes. You know, how can you tell if that's a demo trade or a real trade, you know? How do you know that this person, you know, is just a content creator and not actually trading himself? Because there's a lot of that, you know. I kind of get that this guy might be the real deal as far as, you know, he's actually trading, but those videos always sit weird with me, you know. It's kind of like an advertisement to get people in the door to put up their hard-earned money so that professionals can take it away. And of course it is dog eat dog, the market, but you know, there's a lot of money to be had in the market. It's not just people that are playing in the market, you know, it's institutions too, it's management funds, it's banks, everybody's in. Everybody's in. So don't feel bad if you win, you know, like, oh, you took somebody's money. Well, no, you just took the money that was there. You know, you just got a piece of the pie, that's all. But interestingly enough, don't know why I got off subject there, but a thought I had today on the market was one particular thing I was looking at was I was looking at the Euro USD, and I did a little live stream about it. I was just talking about what I kind of see at that moment, you know. And you never know what the future's going to hold. You know, there was like a couple scenarios, and you know, it ended up taking the scenario of, you know, just taking a whole nother leg down. And are you prepared for that? Are you prepared for that? Are you still going to be so so sure that it's going to go to here? You know, when you come to the market and you're coming up with a game plan, you have to have an exit. You know, you have to have a actual stop, a mental stop, an exit of the idea, you know. It depends on how you're trading too, but you have to have a point where you say, okay, that's it. This idea is done. You know, this idea is completely invalidated, and get out. But what happens more often than not with traders and investors that haven't developed their game to a professional level is that they still continue to push that idea even after the chart and everything is telling them that your idea is over. It's over. You know, it's hard to accept that you are wrong. And that's a big thing to do with, like, that has a lot to do with just our mental processes in general, you know. And especially, you know, a lot of males, they struggle with that too. Because and I can speak of this because I am one. You know, a lot of males have a certain, I don't know if I would say ego to themselves, but just that, you know, I'm a man and, you know, I know this is right, and their logical thinking comes in and says, I know I'm right, you know, I'm right, so it has to do this. The market doesn't have to do anything. But you have to just accept when your idea is wrong. So we never took any position on that Euro USD, but I was just looking at it, and it's interesting to see now, a week and a half later, that the idea, we had a couple ideas, but our first idea was wrong. So, does that make any person inherently a horrible, trader? No, because you are going to have wrong ideas in the market. It's like an ever-learning thing, Very rarely are you going to be have such a high probability rate of your stuff always hitting perfectly. It's not going to go beyond this point. It's going to hit right here, It might do one of those two things, but it's difficult to have it do both, It takes a lot of time to, develop your personal style into where when you're wrong and how to get out. And just accept when your idea is wrong. That's like the message of today. Accept when your idea is wrong. Don't wait till everything's gone to accept it. If you bought a stock for $50 and you had a plan and an idea and a little bit of analysis thinking that it's going to go to 65 and it goes down to 45, you're still in. It goes down to 40, you still think it's going to go to 65, you try to get in again, it goes down to 35, okay, now it's got to go up to 65, and you're still trying to get in. I mean, how far are you going to go to prove your point that it's going to go to 65? That's the example, Are you going to wait until it goes all the way down to $1, less than $1, and you've lost everything, and you've gone through everything trying to prove this point or this idea that it's going to go to $65 a share? I mean, come on. Like I was saying yesterday, you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan on every position you're taking. You have to have a plan and know when is it time to forget your idea. When is your position invalidated? When is your game plan not when is the game over on that particular game plan? Don't let them run the score up on you. Walk off the field. Don't let them win 100-0 just because you think that you can beat them. There's no point in that. If they've got 3-4 wins on you, man, just walk away. Something's going on with that idea you had. And if it does end up playing out, so be it. That's how it is. The moment you walk away, generally is the moment it does exactly what you thought it was going to do. But vice versa, if you don't walk away, it will eat you up because it knows you personally are in the market. The market is a personal thing. I'm telling you. People say it's not, but it is, because you are personally in the market and you are personally coming up with your own ideas. And the market knows when you're on and when you're not on. The market knows when you're putting up positions and when you're not. If you keep trying to go short on something and it keeps going up and up, tick up, get you, tick up, get you, tick up, get you, it's you that's causing that. Have you thought about that? The market's not going to let you in. So accept it that you've missed your move, your idea's incorrect, and move on to another idea on something else. don't always force your position is what I'm saying, because that's like goes hand in hand with going on tilt. You know, you're always forcing it. I'm right. It's gonna go here. It's gonna do this. Yes. Why? Oh, it's okay. You know, I'm gonna keep getting in, keep getting back in. You know, I've been guilty of that many times. You know, you have to step back and say, okay, so this zone that I've been trying to get in at is obviously incorrect. You know, because it's just chewing me up. So let me step away, come back to it later, and maybe look at it from a fresh set of eyes and see what's really going on. That can help a lot too. You know, if something just doesn't seem to be quite working out the way you thought, you know, come at it from another angle, you know. Try looking at it a different way, and you might realize that, yeah, well, it's probably doing this trap right here instead of this one, you know, because it's going to do something first before it does something else. Always. So the market might do three things. For example, the market's going to jump up, stop everybody out that had their stops at the high, and then it's going to jump down, take out everybody's stops that they had at the low, and it's going to go halfway up in the range, and then it's going to rip it down for a whole nother leg down. You know, that's just an example of what could happen. So your idea, you come to the market, you say, okay, I think market's going to drop down. You know, I think the market's going to take another leg down. You know, that's what you're coming into the market thinking, looking at it. Well, when you're coming to the market looking at it and you think that it's going to take another leg down, you're like the fourth step in what's going on for that thing that day. So you come to the market and you got your money down and you think it's going to go down, and what does it do? It goes up, it stops everybody out at the high, it goes down, takes everybody's money down at the low, it goes halfway up the range, pauses, and then it rips it down for a whole nother leg down. So you just got rocked and wrecked because you were quick to jump in with your idea. Your idea was right, the market was going to take a leg down, but you weren't thinking about the other things it's going to do in order before it goes down. It's not going to immediately go down. It might do some other things first. You know, the market had another idea in mind. You know, it's a living, breathing entity, you know. Unpredictable. Does it have behaviors? Yes. Are people that are trading, are they looking for the behaviors? Yes. But just because a wild animal has the behavior of doing this after it eats doesn't mean that it's going to do that again. You know, if you approach a wild animal and it's every time a wild animal finishes eating and it lays there and takes a little nap, you know, it's a wild animal. Okay, so what? The past 8 times it's eaten, it's taken a nap. You don't know that one time that you approach it after it's eaten, that it's going to be taking a nap. It might jump up and attack you with a vicious temperament. So you got to watch it in the markets, you know. It's unpredictable. But that's just what my thoughts were today, you know. Know when your idea is wrong. Know when to walk away when your idea has been proven wrong. Accept that you are wrong. And also, man, watch out for some of these clowns out here. I mean, I am by no means a professional. I just love sharing my journey. But my goodness, man, I can't believe I came across yet another clown on YouTube talking about this, and this, you know. I know they want to get people in the door, and they might have some good stuff to teach, but man, that is just like false advertisement, you know. One out of whatever 1,000 people are going to come in and have that kind of fortune of events when they first start out. So, I don't know. It makes for entertaining content, I'll tell you that, you know. But there's people making far more than that on a daily basis in this game. And it's difficult to find your little niche in the market and find where you can get your little piece of the pie, you know. You have to be unstoppable and like undeterred through all the hiccups and pain and speed bumps that you're going to come across. Because most successful traders, they have gone through the ringer to get where they're at. They've gone through 1,000 times more than some of us have even thought about. So keep that in mind when you're approaching the game. Approach with caution and focus more on learning fundamentals and basic setups until you progress to the next level in your capital gain. Peace and love, and I will talk to everybody later.